Hey there, Uncle Unit. I'm a big fan of your channel. Been listening for a couple years now, and your videos, along with the true crime podcasts I listen to, make the long hauls across country a little more bearable. There was a story in one of your recent videos about a woman who was attacked on her prom night. A man wearing a rain poncho came at her with a knife while she was in the restroom, and it reminded me of this experience I had on the road back in 2002. And those times, I was running hauls out of Dallas down to Houston, and then back up through the Panhandle. I've been driving semi since I was in my early 20s. I figured I knew every stretch of I-35, every rest area, every way station like the back of my hand. You get into a rhythm out there, CB chatter, coffee from the truck stops, watching the miles tick by under the open Texas skies, bugs on the windshield, maybe the occasional blowout, but not much else. That night I was southbound on US 281, somewhere between Wichita Falls and Abilene. The only thing out that way is shrub bush and oil pumps. Around 2 a.m., my rig was heavy enough that the scales were calling me in at this little way station off the highway. It was basically just a concrete pad with a scale house, with one sleepy attendant inside. I pulled up, weighed in quick, no ticket, just the usual paperwork. Then I was waved through. I needed to hit the head real quick, too much coffee, so I parked my rig in the pull-through, killed the engine, and walked over to the restrooms. The place was dead quiet, except for the crickets and the weeds. The door creaked open. Call me crazy, but something didn't feel right about this place, and it wasn't just the smell of bleach and old piss. I felt like I wasn't alone in there. The only other time I felt this way was when I had my first encounter with a lot lizard. Look that up if you don't know. I stepped up to the urinal and started doing my business. That's when I heard it. Soft click of the latch behind me. One of the stall doors started opening, very slowly, like whoever was in there didn't want me to notice right away. I glanced over my shoulder to see the stall door ajar. I finished and zipped back up. When I turned around, I saw someone inside the stall, peering out at me. "What's your problem?" The stall door then opened fully, and out stepped a man wearing a black hoodie pulled down low, hiding most of his face. In his hands, he held an axe. It was one of those full-sized red fire axes. He then raised it over his head and charged at me. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. My instincts took over, and I bolted for the door, almost tripping over my own boots. I burst outside and headed straight for the scale house. The attendant must have saw me approaching, because he came out before I even got there. "What the hell?" he shouted. I pointed back at the restroom. "In there's some fucking lunatic with an axe. Are you fucking with me? 'Cause they'll revoke your CDL if this is a joke." "No, I'm not fucking with you, asshole. Go call the police." The attendant called it in and offered me a chair. I made sure to apologize for calling him an asshole after he got off the phone. The state troopers rolled up quick, lights flashing. They searched the entire station and the brush off the highway. They even checked under my trailer, like the guy might have been hiding there. They found nothing. My attacker vanished like smoke. There were no surveillance cameras at this location, but there was drug paraphernalia found in the bathroom stall he came out of. The troopers took my statement, said that they would look into local transients. But out there, in rural Texas, middle of nowhere, good luck. I sat in my cab until dawn, engine running, doors locked, shaking. I kept replaying it over and over in my head. This guy was doing drugs in the bathroom stall, and he attacked me with an axe when he heard me come in. If that guy working at the scale house had come in and wasn't paying attention, he might have had that axe get buried into his head. I never heard another word from the troopers, so I assume they never caught the guy. I've seen a lot of shit on the road over the years. Been in arguments with hitchhikers. I've never picked one up, but sometimes they just like to invite themselves into the cab. I've seen 18-wheelers flip over, and have even had my truck buried in an avalanche in Colorado. But nothing puts the fear in you like seeing some deranged hooded man coming after you with an axe. To this day, I try to avoid going to way station restrooms alone at night if possible. If it's a simple drain, I just find the nearest bush. But if I have to take the Browns to the Super Bowl, I have no choice.